Good morning, guys, and happy Sunday. I'm Zach Hamrick. I'm one of the owners of Azul Marine Lending. We do about $60 million in yacht loans all over the world, about 40 catamarans a year. And so we see a lot of things, and we've been seeing kind of a trend lately we want to talk a little bit about. Hurricane damaged boats. I'll kind of give you my perspective, both the good and the bad. If you are, for example, buying a boat and money is a concern and you're paying cash for the boat, there's some hurricane damaged boats out there that have been nicely repaired, no issues, no problems. What you'll see a lot of times though is ones like this, for example, is a Lagoon 450. I forget which storm that was, but you see holes below the water line. That particular boat was sunk, and that was a total constructive loss. The things to watch for on this, on total constructive loss, would be an insurance company that is on the bill of sale, or an insurance company that is in the abstract. That means that an insurance company owned it. The only reason they would own it because it was a total constructive loss. You'll find that you'll have problems getting insurance on that boat. You'll find it completely impossible to get a loan on that boat, and the values of that boat will be significantly underpriced. The problem comes in when you're sometimes dealing with individuals. We ran into a situation 2 months ago where we had a boat that had been damaged in BVI, taken to Florida and repaired, and then taken down to another island to sell. People on that island had no idea it had been damaged, and so I had a client fly a crew down to do a survey. They had to spend 2 weeks in quarantine. After 1 week, we said, maybe we ought to go ahead and do an abstract on this just because they're going to leave immediately after the survey. Lo and behold, insurance company in the chain of ownership. Totally killed the deal, and that's some of the unfortunate things you see. You'll see also some things that I consider perfectly fine. And that's if you see a warning, for example, in yacht world, typically in red, this vessel sustained some damage from Hurricane Irma, has been repaired following the builder's guidelines. Pictures of the vessel are taken after repairs were completed. Contact your broker for more detailed information. That's truth in advertising. I have no problem with that. The problem is if you're going to pay cash for it, you're okay. You're going to have a boat. That hurricane damage will always follow that boat and will affect your resale value in future years. It'll also make it impossible in many cases for the person buying your boat to actually get a loan on that boat, because we are not able to do loans on boats that have hurricane damage. Okay, so you're buying a boat and that boat is coming out of that area that could have been affected by the hurricanes. How do you protect yourself? The very first question I'm going to ask the selling broker is, was this boat damaged in the hurricane? Okay, I'm assuming that almost any boat in the Caribbean had some type of damage. Maybe scratched gel coat, maybe bow pulpits knocked off, a whole variety of other minor issues like that. That's not structural, that's repaired, doesn't really show up on the insurance company's radar, doesn't show up in the chain of ownership, doesn't show up on the survey. Those are not issues, okay? The things that are issues are things where there were holes poked in the hull. You have elevated moisture content in the hull. You have separated hull deck joints, that type of thing. That's structural. Also, when we see, please be sure to ask for a survey of the initial damage done to the boat. They'll have usually a spreadsheet about that long with every single element that has to be fixed or repaired on the boat. And if that happens to be 70, 80, 100 hours worth of damage that was repaired, a bank is probably not going to approve that boat for a loan. So just keep that in mind. If you happen to be one of the folks that we work with, and half our people are in this particular category, you're new. You've been some of the sailing courses, you've done a couple of cruises with your significant other, but you've never owned a big catamaran before. In that case, the first thing I'd suggest is to get a good broker to represent your interests. They're going to know the questions to ask. They're going to know who's selling the boat. They're going to know the history of the boat better than you can in most cases. And that is very, very important. Well, all of our clients now that are buying boats coming from the Caribbean, as soon as we see that we've got an application we can move forward with, we pull the abstract right then because we want to know the history of the boat. We want you to know it. We want to make sure that you're protected on that. This is something that, my wife Greta and I take very seriously. We work very hard at this and really try to make sure our clients are always protected. So I'd suggest if you have any questions, please give us a call. We've got the resources. We've seen enough of this to know exactly what to look for. And our main job is just to make sure that we put you on a boat and finance you for a boat that you're going to enjoy with your family safely for a long, long time. Thanks very much, guys. Have a happy Sunday.